Some clinics in Quebec have stopped providing gender-affirming care to youth. And according to a doctor who still does provide this care in Quebec, that's a consequence of Radio-Canada's recent investigation, in which they found the time to interview 4 separate international opponents to gender-affirming care for youth, but not a single Quebec-based doctor who provides this care. So, Radio-Canada, I did it for you. This is Antoine Cloutier-Blais, a doctor in Montreal who actually works with trans patients. Here's what he had to say.
Radio Canada is not going to take responsibility here for whatever consequences are going to come out of their documentary, but there are consequences. As of now, some clinics have decided to stop offering teenage care because it's getting too high of attention, and they're afraid.
The report, he said, does highlight important concerns from parents, but it approaches them all wrong. The answer isn't, as the investigation posits, to make it less accessible. Instead, it shows that, frankly, like a lot of healthcare issues right now, gender-affirming care needs to be better resourced so it can provide the highest level of care to patients. He also fact-checked several claims made in the investigation, including the impression it leaves that puberty blockers might be unsafe.
We do know blockers are safe and have reversible effects, and consequences of short-term use of blockers are negligible.
This care also requires regular check-ins.
It's a process, and hormone therapy is a process, and transitioning is a process, and self-knowledge is a process.
Patients usually start with puberty blockers, which buys them more time to make their decisions before moving on to something like hormone therapy, which can be more permanent, but patients are told that. Because in Quebec, once you turn 14, you can make decisions on your own about almost all care deemed necessary for your health. But as Radio-Canada painted a picture of things happening too young and too fast, they didn't really mention this broader context. Overall, Radio-Canada has a lot it needs to explain about this so-called investigation. What do you think?